Members of Tudunbiri community in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State have dissociated themselves from a legal case instituted against the federal government following the accidental bombing in the area that killed over 100 residents. The community members made their position known at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim House, Kaduna, during a meeting with the state governor. The report
had hit the media space on Wednesday that some individuals have instituted a case against the federal government demanding 33 billion naira compensation on behalf of the community and victims of the attack. However, the villagers who were at the government house distanced themselves from the lawsuit.
On behalf of the Tudunbiri community, I am the imam of that community. Will not give mandate to any person in this country in order to get any allegation to the government. Whoever do that, he's not from us. We doesn't know him. He's doing it with not our permission. So we urge the Kaduna State government to find out that person, please, to take necessary action against him. So we distance ourselves with that person that's trying to bring confusion into our community.
We had it, but I assure you, we are not involved in the lawsuit. Besides, we are living in peace with one another in the community. Governor Obasani addressed members of the community and reiterated government's commitment to the protection of lives and properties.
And I want to emphasize the community have already insisted that we have to investigate the whole situation, and whoever is found involved must be dealt with. And as a government, we will do that.
Governor Sani assured that funds realized from pledges made to support the victims will be used judiciously.
Will only be involved to ensure that all the donations reach the right people. Whatever we're doing as a government, we're doing it with our money. But those donations and contributions will go directly to the families of those that lost their lives and those that are in the hospital.
The community also appealed to the federal government to create job opportunities for its teeming youths. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
And the Defense Headquarters says it has opened an investigation into the December 3 accidental bombing at Tudunbiri community in Kaduna State, which claimed over 100 lives. The Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, in an interview with Punch newspapers, said the investigation panel had 8 senior officers, and this was as the leadership of the Tudunbiri community in the Igabi local government area of Kaduna State disowned claims that community had filed a 33 billion naira lawsuit against the federal government. And this development is coming days after public outcry over the incident, with stakeholders calling for full-scale investigation into the bombing incident. And the Ekiti State Police Command has vowed to arrest the perpetrators of a bank robbery in the Ekiti area of the state. Robbers had attacked two new generation banks on Wednesday evening, carting away an undisclosed amount of money, with 3 persons feared killed. And in a statement after the incident, the police spokesman in the state, Abutu Sunday, said the Commissioner of Police visited the scene of the robbery incident at Ekiti for an on-the-spot assessment. The police spokesman said tactical squads and soldiers deployed to the scene engaged the hoodlums, who abandoned the 3 vehicles and 2 motorcycles before they fled to the bush. The police enjoined anyone with useful information concerning the identity and whereabouts of hoodlums to contact the police. The commissioner commiserated with the family members of those who were fatally affected and wished those currently receiving treatment in the hospital a quick recovery.
torí machine ọmọ kẹrẹ wà nínú
ọmọ kẹrẹ ni ọmọ kẹrẹ olóyè burúkú
àwọn gba machine ni o
àwọn ti gba machine
ti kọjá lọ
they don't go ọpẹ wo
wọ́n ti ṣetán
wọ́n ti rọ́ọ̀bù báńkì tán bàbá wọn mọ́tò wọn.
ọmọ pọ̀ Jésù o ọmọ
The Nigeria Labour Congress has kicked against the proposed plans by the federal government to restructure the Transmission Company of Nigeria. In a communique signed by the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, the organized labour says the proposed privatization plan of the TCN would portend great danger to the power sector and hold great fear and trepidation for major stakeholders within the sector. Ajero says the intended power sector policies could create the same mistakes past administrations made, and it would create deeper consequences if power sector policies are not reversed by the federal government. The NLC president added that the decision imperils the ability of the state to control, always regulate, and guarantee the safety of the nation's grid system. And federal universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education have been taken off from the integrated personnel payment system platform of the federal government. The exemption approval reached during the FEX meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja on Wednesday comes as a relief to tertiary institutions across the country who have campaigned against the initiative. The report.
The Minister of Education, Marman, who disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents alongside other ministers on the outcome of the FEC meeting, ordered that the action takes immediate effect. According to him, FEC also observed that vice-chancellors of universities didn't need to abandon their work to come to Abuja to process the salaries of their personnel.
Vice-chancellors, rectors, and provosts of college of education, those managing the tertiary sector in Nigeria, have been complaining about having the subscription to IPPS. You know what IPPS does? And which has made recruitment and many other activities of the university relating to personnel very, very difficult. Now today, today's council, it has been decided, the president has directed that vice chancellor should no longer or have been taken out of that service.
The federal government in 2006 introduced IPPIS as one of its reform initiatives for the effective storage of personal records, saying the move would improve transparency and accountability. Earlier, President Bola Tinubu had sworn in Musa Aliyu as substantive chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, following his confirmation by the Senate. Others are Natu Abdullahi, Shehu Aliyu, Rukayat Odekunle, Sarah Soson, and Festus Oyebade. The president personally administered the oath of office on the new appointees, whose appointments were recently confirmed by the Senate in accordance with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended.
The Rivers State Governor Sim Fuba on Wednesday presented the 800 billion naira 2024 appropriations bill to the Edison Ehi-led faction of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The presentation was done at the Government House in Port Harcourt following the demolition of the Assembly complex by the state government as political tensions mount in the state. The report.
Governor Fubara said the estimated budget was aimed at promoting economic development through inclusive growth and address socio-economic inequalities in the state.
The relevance and importance of the civil service to the development of our dear states through effective implementation of government policies and programs. Subsequently, our commitment is to strengthen, motivate the civil servants for optimal and responsible performance through regular promotion, payment of salary, pension and gratuity, and the provision of good working environment.
Governor Fubara restated his commitment to good governance for the people of the state, assuring that he will strengthen and motivate civil servants for optimal and responsible performance. The Speaker, Edison Ehe, assured the governor of speedy passage of the bill so that the machinery of government will keep running for the overall good of the state.
And youth development. We therefore assure you of speedy passage of this bill so that your administration can keep the ground running for the overall well-being, welfare, security of Rivers people, Rivers State, and the admiration of Nigerians at large.
Present at the budget presentation were members of the House loyal to Ehe. None of the members who recently moved from the People's Democratic Party PDP to the All Progressives Congress APC was in attendance.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, we take a look at the impact of Nigeria's declining reading culture on national development. More news when we return, do stay tuned.
It's time to jackpot for more fun. This season, there are loads of exciting content. Enjoy all the drama, intrigue, suspense, and romance in a wide range of telenovela series, Nollywood movies, Bollywood, kiddies program, and introducing our new kiddies channel, Wooing. After 5 years of waiting, the Nigeria Premier Football League is finally back, live and exclusively on Star Times.
Enjoy more this season with our jackpot promo. Recharge 2 months on Classic or Super Bouquet and get 14 days free, or recharge 2 months and get upgraded to a higher bouquet. Wow! Recharge now and jackpot for more fun and stand a chance to win Sundial TV and other fantastic gifts. Offer runs till January 20, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Star Times. Entertain your family.
This is Africa Update on Trust TV. I am Ayuba. Thanks for joining.
Rest of Africa, stand and make sure that our people understand.
And the story of the OAU can be told and retold. It cannot be denied that it made a contribution to the process of decolonization of the continent in many ways.
Ethiopia is where it is today in no small part because of the tireless efforts of the African Union and the wisdom of its deeply held belief in the principle of African solution to African problems.
The bulk of African countries were under colonial rule in 1945. So they did not take part in the negotiations that established the Bretton Woods institutions.
But the African continent is not included in the South-South relations. And therefore, our objective is to ensure that the Africa Free Trade Agreement is actually implemented. And the BRICS countries, all of them are trading with Africa.
And we know that there are resources in Sudan, especially in Darfur. And that is why Darfur has been on the front burner for a long time.
So Cameroonians are anxious, Cameroonians are impatient, Cameroonians are like, oh, many of the guys are not talking today. You can read it all over the social media.
Egypt has officially declined to accept fleeing Palestinians for fear that the more Palestinians we accept across the border into Egypt, the more trouble there may be for the country in the nearest and farthest future.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Here is a recap of our top stories. Tudunbiri community disowns legal suit against federal government as defense headquarters set a panel to investigate bombing incident. Organized labor pushes back on federal government's privatization plans in the power sector. And moving on now, the Kano state government has recently employed over 4,000 street sweepers as part of efforts to keep the state clean. But indiscriminate refuse disposal has continued to threaten the environment across the metropolis. In this report, Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin takes a look at Kano environmental sanitation and why indiscriminate refuse dump persists. The report.
This is Kano's Refuse Management and Sanitation Board, where refuse disposal and evacuation vehicles are waiting to be dispatched to sites. Although some are obsolete, others are being repaired. Day and night, refuse evacuation exercise is carried out in Kano. Yet, indiscriminate refuse dump remains a threat to the environment.
Our problem is people that are dumping this in the street, on the road. They don't care. We have a dumping site. We have more than 160 dumping sites. But the people, they don't willing to cooperate. Some Nigerians don't want to. They don't want to cooperate and take this in, especially to dumping site. When they pick it from your house or anywhere house or in the street, they will just put it in the street.
This place where refuse is dumped is one of Kano's popular routes, linking motorists and traders to the famous Abubakar Rimi market in Sabongari. From marketplaces to motor parks and junctions to densely populated areas, the story is the same.
Some people in their house does not even have money to buy pure water. So if you don't have money to buy pure water and you need to give people that will take disposal out from your house, it will cost maybe 15 naira, 100 naira. You don't have money, you have to trade anywhere you want to trade and ease yourself.
It has become a tradition in the entire Kano environment, whereby they don't take it as a health hazard. However, there's just dumping for dumping's sake. And sometimes the government is not helping in matters.
Inadequate or complete lack of dumping site in some areas, government irregular refuse evacuation and the absence of environmental sanitation inspectors are largely responsible for the indiscriminate refuse dumping in Kano.
Even you yourself can see that here, whether there is sanitation, because I have never seen government parking refuge in this place. All along, we have been here, we do the little one we can do, and even though you go to the back, it's blocked. There is nothing we can, less for government, there is nothing like that. It's, I think, individual effort. That's what we have been doing here. But there was a time somebody came and told us that they want to bring dustbin for us, that they will put dustbin at the road, outside the yard, that each person will pay. They told us to register, we pay 150 naira. But at the end, when we went there, we didn't saw anybody.
According to the Kano State Refuse Management and Sanitation Board, there are well over 100 refuse collection centers across the 8 metropolitan local governments, and hundreds of people were engaged to keep the environment clean.
Yes, when we came, there's no reserve, only kept get one company released by the reserve as a partner or collaboration or memo understanding with that company. I think according to the information, it's about 25 years. So I think the NOE has been collapsed since the government gave him that approval. It's no longer working again. So when the governor came, Engineer Abubakar Yusuf, she decided to bring it back reserve, so that as an agency we can evacuate refuse in this state.
Despite this, residents have continued to express concern over the inadequate dumping sites, which is the reason most people dump refuse indiscriminately. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Reading books can broaden an individual's understanding of the world around and help build the knowledge base and capacity of the individual. In Nigeria today, reading for leisure or educational purposes continues to be on the decline as illiteracy rate rises across the country. Jimmy Adzande samples the views of residents in Makodi on the phenomenon.
There's a famous saying that goes, if you want to hide something from an African, put it in a book because Africans don't like to read. This statement, although sad, is unfortunately true to some degree, looking at the current state of affairs in Nigeria. Nigeria has been rated by the World Culture Score Index as one of the countries in the world with the lowest reading culture, while available statistics from National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education shows that 38% of Nigerians are non-literate, as 4 in 10 primary school children cannot read for comprehension.
Children today, unless they are in school, most parents do not prioritize their interest. They do not hone their interest in books. We had this time where our parents had this shelf. I always like to describe the shelf because it was a symbol of the reading culture back in the days, and it did us good. All the grammar that we speak today wasn't from university, wasn't from college, it was from that young when we interacted with the book. So yes, we need to do something about the reading culture.
Structural challenges linked to inadequate infrastructure like libraries, quality education programs, as well as socio-economic factors like poverty, insecurity, and inequality play a significant role in compounding the already critical situation.
Because, children love imitating the adults. And because the adult, as a result of the economic hardship, people are pursuing money and the interest is not there. And as the children too, they are also imitating their parents. And as a result of that, this decline in reading. So if the adults start to take interest in reading, the younger ones will start imitating them. The society will become better.
With Nigeria's education system in limbo, many are advocating high-quality parenting to mitigate the gaps that will help boost the literacy level of the next generation, as well as improve Nigeria's standing on reading culture.
Reading culture among students and even the children generally in Nigeria is dying out gradually, and we teachers and schools owe it to duty to make sure that it doesn't die by encouraging our children to pick read, even from whatever age they are. From the kindergarten, children can begin to do something, picking Ipis, put them together, read 1 or 2 little words, and that. By the time the child grows, become a good reader of any book he or she picks onto it.
The socio-economic benefits of reading books can have far-reaching impact on one's life. As the most populous black nation in the world, Nigeria cannot afford to have a significant part of its population unable or unwilling to read. The unpalatable development is counterproductive to the growth and development of the giant of Africa. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
President Bola Tinubu has sacked the 6 managing directors and director generals of parastatals in the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development. And this was disclosed in a statement on Wednesday by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale. The affected directors include the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Nigerian Meteorological Agency, Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, and Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority. The managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Kabir Yusuf Mohammed, has been removed from office and replaced with Olubumi Oluwaseun Kuku as the substantive managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. The managing director of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Tayyib Adetunji Odonowu, has been removed from office and replaced with engineer Umar Ahmed Farouk in the substantive managing director of the Nigerian Airspace Management Agency. Director General of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Engineer Kinola Olateru, has been removed from office and replaced with Alex Bade Jr. as the substantive Director General of the Nigerian Safety Investigations Bureau. And now to business news. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited is not transparent about the financial gains from fuel subsidy removal, according to the World Bank. This extends to subsidy areas that are still being deducted and the impact of subsidy removal on Federation revenues, the bank noted. The Washington-based organization made this call in its Nigeria Development Update December 2023 edition titled Turning the Corner. And this is coming on the heels of the revelation by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, Wale Edun, that the government is ready to scrutinize the revenue flow from the NNPCL. According to the World Bank, while revenue gains from the exchange rate reforms are visible, more clarity is needed on oil revenues, including the fiscal benefits from the PMS subsidy reforms. The Bretton Woods institution further expanded that gains in net oil revenue of the Federation were lower than what they should have been, considering that the removal of fuel subsidy should have added to the account. And away from Nigeria, a Tanzanian student initially reported to have been taken hostage by Hamas in Israel has been confirmed dead by Tanzania's government. Joshua Molel was working as an agricultural intern at a kibbutz which was attacked by Hamas gunmen on the 7th of October. Tanzania's Foreign Minister Jamhuri Makamba says Molel was killed immediately after he was taken hostage. Fellow student Clemens Felix Matenga was also killed in the attack. Lord to Molel, Joshua's father, has been notified about the death of his son, the minister added. The two Tanzanian students had traveled to Israel just a month before the 7 October attack. It was initially reported that they were among the 240 people taken hostage by Hamas, and dozens of residents of kibbutz Nana Oz were among the 1,200 people killed by Hamas fighters. And since then, some 18,600 people have been killed in the Israeli operation in Gaza, Hamas says. And now to sports news. The Nigeria Premier Football League Board has rescheduled fixtures for match day 15 and 16. The fixture rearrangement is aimed at accommodating the difficulties in the logistics during the festive period. The match day 15 fixture scheduled for Sunday, the 24th of December, will now hold on Thursday, the 21st of December. Likewise, the week 16 fixtures, which was originally scheduled for Sunday, December the 31st, has been brought forward to Thursday, December the 28th. The match day 14 fixtures will be played on Saturday and Sunday across all league venues. Rivers United and Bayelsa United will face off in the rescheduled match day 12 fixture in Port Harcourt on Thursday. And with that, we've come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles for more news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Chiamaka Indendu. Thank you for watching.